Welcome to Yoga Plus Therapies. We're actually going to be doing our Tai Chi hands and feet basics today. So the first 3 hand postures or movements are the empty hands, loose, lengthened like you're holding a ball. The second one is the hook, fingers and thumbs meet. And the third one is the fist, fingers, thumbs over. So from standing straight with your feet together, let's step to the side. So sink down, let your right foot and hip go to the right, and then when you flatten the foot, your feet are parallel, you can stand up and you can sink down into the horse stance. So for this stance, you have the spine straight, the thighs are apart, the knees should be about over the middle of your feet, so they're not too far forward, not too far back. I'll show it sideways so you can see that the back side should not be tucked under, nor should it be protruding back. Just calm and strong. You can also do the same things in a very wide horse stance if your strength and flexibility permit. And from here you can also practice transferring the weight from one side to the other, slowly and calmly, without jerks or pauses. You just feel every molecule of weight transfer. Finish in the middle, push down on the feet to rise up. The next stance is the cat stance, where from the figure 8 you bend your knees and take the weight to your left foot. The right toes tap forward lightly. Another variation is the right heel taps forward lightly. The foot that's forward faces forward and there's no weight on it. I'll show you now, side on. So sink down, take the weight to your left foot, tap your right toes forward or your heel down. The common mistake is to take too much weight forward, so keep the weight back and the knee bent. The next step is a little tricky. It's called the square stance, where you circle your empty step to the opposite corner of an imaginary square and then move the weight forward. It's sometimes called the bow stance, where you have the back leg cutting off that back corner and your stance is longer. I'll show you the stepping later, how to get into it later. First, let's just look at the actual stance. Your hip width apart, one foot back, one foot forward. Both legs are bent. About 60% of the weight is forward and about 40% of the weight is on the back leg. You open up and you're calm. The bow stance would be just slightly longer. That's it. Sometimes we need to stand on one leg, like for kicks. So you sink down the weight, say on your left leg, and you lift your right leg up. And then when you're calm or you feel up to it, or if the movement requires, you can stretch your right leg forward. Always come back to your center. So let's try it on the other side. Left leg up, balance. Sink the weight down on your right leg. And when you're ready, extend. Come back to your center and return to the start. Now we come to the section of stepping. So when you're in a horse stance, wide or simple narrow, you simply transfer the weight from side to side without rising up and down. You keep the head level, you transfer the weight from one side without leaning over, and then to the other side. Do it smoothly and slowly so you can feel every molecule of weight transfer from side to side. Your body is just upright like a column sitting on your strong base. That's transferring the weight. Now you can also transfer the weight forward and back. So just turn side on to show you in the square stance. You keep your back foot grounded and you move forward, transfer the weight to the center, and then as you move back, you can lift the front toes area. As you move forward, you slowly move forward, opening both thighs. You're in a good square stance. You can do that repeatedly on one leg or practice it on the other leg as well. That's transferring the weight forward and backwards. So for square stepping, I've got a square to show you how to step around an imaginary square. Okay, just a square. So stand in an easy horse stance on the back two corners of the square. Turn your right foot out to the corner, get your balance, sink down, and circle your left hip and foot around to the opposite corner of the square. Transfer the weight forward. You should end up with about 60% of your weight on your forward leg and about 30% of your weight on your back leg. You're upright, strong. To transfer to the other side, you rock back, move the left foot off to the corner, just cutting off the back corner of the square. This is now the back corner of the square. Get your balance and circle your foot to the front of the square on the opposite side. You move in the direction that your toes are facing, so slowly transfer the weight forward, not off to the corner, because then you'll be a bit peculiar looking. So when you've got that, that's your square step. Backward stepping, you sink down, get your balance on your left leg, lift your right foot, slide it in, then slightly zigzag it backwards, zigzag the heel down, transfer the weight to the back leg, keeping it bent, and you're in cat stance. Adjust. Other side, you lift your knee and foot, slide in, slightly zigzag the foot back, transfer the weight back, and if necessary, adjust into cat stance. And keep practicing that backwards, on and on. Now for sideways stepping, we step to the left only. Sink down into your horse stance, transfer the weight to your left leg. The right foot lifts and steps in a half a step. Then you transfer the weight to your right leg. The left foot lifts. You tap down about a half a step away, and then you sink the heel down and you transfer the weight to the left. So you keep doing that over and over again. Half a step in, transfer the weight. Half a step out, slowly transfer the weight. And keep practicing that. Tai Chi posture. So take a horse stance and your head, think of it as being suspended from above. Your face is relaxed. Your shoulders are soft. Your chest is soft, not protruding. Backwards a little bit. Your thoracic back is a little bit strong, so slightly rounded, slightly out. Little bit of power from the back. The arms are soft, the elbows are lowered, not up. Arms rounded, fingers long. The waist is soft. The abdomen is soft. The thighs are strong. The knees are bent. Knees about over the middle of your feet, feet facing forward, parallel feet. And your feet should feel like they're so strong that they're like grounded and rooted to the earth, so that even if you move, unless you want to, you feel like you're stuck in glue or cement. Light upper body, strong base, calm face.